Hello and welcome to this video. How are you guys doing today? Hope you're having an amazing day so far. Before we dive into today's topic, I want to tell you that yesterday I mentioned that I read a book. I read an entire book. It was probably the first one that I read in about 4 hours. And the topic, that one thing that I learned in that book and inspired me to create today's video. I knew something about the subject, but it helped me create a structure. And if you know, I'm not gonna mention the name of the book, but if you know what the book is and who's the author, I'm just gonna give you something of value. Maybe I'll give you a call, one-on-one call, so that I see what your business is about, or I'll just help you get started, or I'll just I'll pay you $10 maybe. So if you know the book, stay tuned till the end and I'll mention some details. And if you can tell me the book, the first person to tell me, I'll just give you this nice bonus. So the subject of today's video is gonna be value. So the value. If you're in the online marketing niche, you probably have heard this term over and over again. Add value. Or value, what's this value? And I have seen a post from a person in one of the groups that I follow, and that person said, if somebody tells me add value again, I will literally throw my laptop through the window. And the reason why he said that is that he doesn't understand the concept of value entirely, and doesn't know how to apply this for his business, for his products or service that he is selling online. And the easiest way to understand value as a beginner is money. So that's how people see value. You're probably paying for groceries, you're probably paying for rent, you're paying for food in the restaurant, or paying for clothes. So you're paying money to get something in exchange. So you're giving value to the product owner and you're getting value back. So it can be even courses. You're paying a course creator, somebody who has created a course for a subject that he is an expert in, and you buy that course to get the value, which is his expertise, his experience, and his process of how you can duplicate that. So that's the value that he gives you in exchange for the money you're paying. And if you're just starting out, I made some notes today so that I don't forget anything, because it's really valuable information. And if you're just starting out, you probably are thinking how can I add value to my product or services? And in the beginning, if you don't have capital, the only value that you can offer is your time. So if you're just in the services business, then you can learn a skill. You can learn a skill and then sell your knowledge and your expertise. Where if you're just a consultant, you can sell your mentorship maybe. And that's how you sell value to get value in exchange. And you're just learning something and then you sell that. So you're getting people to see that value and then to pay for it. And one thing that I noticed about selling products and services online and the value as people perceive it is that when you have a $10 product and you have a $300 product, usually the time to invest in selling one of those products, whether it's digital or it's a service or it's a physical product, then the time to sell one of those products is really gonna be the same. So if you're gonna spend 2 hours to convince somebody to buy your $10 product, you probably spend around 2 hours to convince someone to spend $300 on your product. And the reason for that is how people perceive the value of your product. Some will see a lot of value in it, and some will think, this is not so good. And what I learned in the book, so here's where you're gonna see your hint for who is the author of the book. The value is actually composed of two parts. So we have total perceived value, and then we have practical value, and we have intrinsic value. So really intelligent word, not used every single day, intrinsic. And the practical value is what your product or service does. So for example, it can be, let's take the clothes. So we have two brands, Zara and Gucci. So they both sell t-shirts. One of those, their products are t-shirts. So the practical value of their t-shirts is they keep you warm, they keep you maybe your skin protected from the sun, and then maybe it hides your sensitive areas or something like this. And then if we're thinking about these two products and two brands, Gucci and Zara, their product have the same practical value, but there's also the intrinsic value, which is how this product is actually perceived. And the thing that generates the intrinsic value is actually positioning of that product, positioning of the brand that's selling it, and promotions. And the truth is, maybe this truth is a little sad for some people and really great for those who are selling, is that the money is in the intrinsic value. Like the actual profits, if you want to make more profit, you need to increase the intrinsic value of your product, whether it's a service or a physical product or a digital product. And you see, Gucci is selling selling t-shirts for $800, while Zara is selling t-shirts for $40. You see, 840, it's the same practical value. You're still gonna wear that t-shirt and it's still gonna do the same practical value for you. But what causes that gap of $760? That's the intrinsic value. And it's because Gucci has positioned themselves and have done so great promotions, and they position themselves as a top brand. And if you have read, and I really recommend you do, the book Expert Secrets, Russell Brunson explains that a lot of things that people do are caused by the status. They want to either keep their status or just increase their status. So people wear Gucci because they want to increase their status. They like what Gucci community is like. They want to be perceived like as people of high status, and that's why they choose Gucci. And that's the intrinsic value that Gucci has. And you're basically paying $760 for a single t-shirt. That's the gap you're paying only for the status, only to be wearing that t-shirt. And it's because of the positioning and the promotions Gucci did to increase this intrinsic value. I'm just gonna give you one more example, and it's gonna be with cars so that you really understand this concept. And let's take, we have BMW, and then we have Rolls-Royce. And BMW, let's say they make cars from 20,000 to 100,000. And then a Rolls-Royce, like a Rolls-Royce Ghost, is gonna cost around 300,000. And you see, the product have the same practical value. That these products will just help you get faster from point A to point B, and then keep you warm if it's windy or it's raining or it's snowing, and that's the value that they give you. But the gap again is caused by the intrinsic value, because total perceived value is practical value and intrinsic value. And intrinsic value is by positioning and promotions. Let me ask you something. Are you watching soccer? Tonight's gonna be a game in the Champions League championship, and then there are different players. There are players who cost $1 million, and there are players who cost $150 million. And their entire value is like, they have the practical value, which is they can kick the ball and they can play a game and they know the rules and they just run on the field, like they run back and forth on the field and pass the ball to get the, the ball in the goal. But the intrinsic value that they have created by positioning themselves, they have played for different clubs, for top clubs, and this has increased their intrinsic value, because somebody has played for Barcelona, or somebody has played for Atletico Madrid, then it's gonna increase their intrinsic value, and they're gonna be perceived as top players, and their price for them is gonna be higher. Now, I hope you got value from this video. This is gonna help you a lot. The key to making a lot of money online is to increase the intrinsic value of your product or service. And it's not that I have invented this today, or I have anything to do with this. That's the psychology of consumers, and not only online, offline as well. And you should use the intrinsic value and increase it for all your products, and this is gonna potentially make you a fortune. Okay, so if you like today's content, make sure to leave a like and let me know down below the name of the book, or just contact me on Facebook and tell me the name of the book if you know it, and you're gonna get that bonus I talked about in the beginning. And if you like today's content, and if you like content about online marketing and about marketing in general, different concepts, principles that I explain on this channel, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow in my next video.